Hey y'all, welcome back. So today we're going to do another makeup 101. And we're going to do an inverted cut crease 101. And I'm going to be honest here, this really kind of turned into, let's watch Leah do some crazy makeup. And we'll call it 101 because we'll teach a very simple technique that we've kind of already taught before. But, you know, whatever, we're going with that. So like I said, we're going to do an inverted cut crease today. And I want to preface this by saying that according to some people, an inverted cut crease is actually where you would cut the crease out and then you would do a dark color on the inner half and then a light color on the outer half. That to me is really like a reverse half cut crease. And we're not doing that today. So what I mean when I say a lot. Sorry. What I mean when I say an inverted cut crease is we are actually going backwards. So we're going to apply a transition shade. And then we're going to go straight in with our smallest brush and our darkest color. And we're going to directly lay down the crease. And then we're going to work backward from there. So if you are interested in how to do a traditional cut crease or you really want some info on that, I highly recommend that you go and watch my Cut Crease 101 tutorial. And I will link it somewhere right here. That I really go in depth and to explain why we do it and why we do the color fade and all this kind of stuff. So I would go check that out. Now this inverted cut crease is, I don't do it that often. But it is very helpful for people with hooded lids because you are already going in hard with that crease color and then you're not adding all of these different shades and getting all of these blends that are going to eventually make the crease too small and things that you can run into, especially if your eye is hooded. It's also a lot softer. I mean, there's nothing soft about this look at all. But, you know, because you are going in with a dark color and then you're piling all these lighter shades on top, you're going to kind of buff out some of the darkness. So if you like cut creases, but you think they're a little too harsh, this is a super easy way to mitigate that, I guess you could say. Also, I know that normally when I do my makeup tutorial, my eyeshadow tutorials, all two of them, I normally do lighter, like neutrals, basically, so that the techniques can speak for themselves. But since we have already pretty much talked about the why for these techniques, I guess you could say, with the cut crease, I decided that I wanted to do bright colors because this is what I really like to do. And whenever I wear these looks in videos, I get a lot of compliments on these looks. So I decided that it would be really fun to play around with this. And so, yeah, this is, this is some craziness going on here. But do know that this is not an all or nothing thing. You can definitely take this technique and then use like the colors that I used in my my cut crease video. Now, this is like the third time that I've done this look in the past 2 days. Or well, no. This will be the third time. Because actually, I was going to film this video yesterday. And I started doing this side. And I was not happy with it, so I started to remove it with the plans, or I removed it with the plans of redoing it. And if y'all follow me on Instagram, you know what happened. My baby decided to take a header off of a chair and hit the vacuum. And so she has a big, huge, which it's not, it doesn't look quite as bad now unless you get the right angle. She has this big, huge knot on her head. She bashed her little nose, and so she had like little lines of red right here. Okay, shh. Go on. And so she got it. Okay. Sorry. She got a very, very mild concussion. And so we spent the night, or not spent the night, but we were at the ER for a while last night so they could monitor her to make sure everything was okay. She's fine. She's absolutely fine. She's got a big knot. She is kind of unhappy. She's actually sitting right here. Like, let's see if you can, that's a lot of turning, but. No, okay, I can't get her in. She's too short. Anyway, she is she's sitting right here with me. She's in her high chair and she's eating, and I'm bribing her with food so that maybe I don't have to hold her through the whole video. So if you hear a baby but don't see one, that's because she's right there. Now that I've messed up my camera angle. Okay, so now that we have done the longest intro ever, we're going to go ahead and go in with this. Now, I am using my Sweet Peach palette again today. I am using the more generic colors. Don't worry about that. Also, eat it. Also, I am using some Hip, I left the green. If y'all will excuse me for just a minute, I'll cut this out. Okay, I'm back. So I'm also using some L'Oreal Hip shadow duos and pigments. Now, I'm pretty sure they still make the shadow duos. I don't know if they still make their pigments, But these colors, while they are very pretty and bright and beautiful, they're not like exclusive to L'Oreal hips. So don't worry about that. Yes, they're ancient, but that's because they're powder products and you can keep powder products for a long time. Okay, so as always, I have put pomade on my brow. I have tight lined with black liner. I have primed. I have put a little bit of concealer over that because my primer was clear. And then I set it with a blending shade. And so now we're going to go straight in with our transition. And just like the regular cut crease, we're going to be using this Crown C412 Deluxe Pointed Crease. And we're going to be, same color too, Georgia from the Sweet Peach palette, which is a matte mauve pink kind of shade. And we're going to take our brush like this and apply the color to one side. And then we are going to go straight in at the crease. I should have moved my mirror closer to there, but she's going to pull on it. I'm having a terrible brow day, by the way. And we're just going to lay this down. And I am going to do 2 layers of this because I do want a little bit of pink peeking through. And I can't remember if I said it or not, but if y'all hear Dot McStuffins, it's real life. Okay, now I'm just going to wipe this brush off real quick and I'm going to put it away because I'm done with that. All right, now to make an inverted cut crease, we're going to go straight in with our darkest color and smallest brush. Now remember, when you do a cut crease, you typically start with the biggest brush and the lightest color and work your way down. Today we're going to be inverting that. And I am going to use another color that is a little bit more distinct to this palette. I believe CoverGirl has a shade that looks almost exactly like this though, and it is called Delectable. Now remember, you do not have to use the colors I'm using. This is really just to teach you the technique, and I really just wanted to do something super obnoxious. We're also taking the Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush, and we are applying this color directly to one side of the brush and then flipping. And normally, I know that I say, I'm going to have to look in this mirror now. Normally, I know that I say that to concentrate your color on the outer half. For this, we're not doing that. We're going to make it even all the way. So I'm kind of patting it out first to make sure that I have enough so that we don't get patchy. And this does not have to be perfect, and it's not going to look good. Well, I mean, I guess it will if you go for that kind of thing, but... And I'm just going to kind of blend this in. Oh, look, I have an email. So now that, kind of just blend this in. I've pulled this a little bit further in. You can see that line there than I normally do. You do not have to do that for an inverted cut crease. I just kind of liked the way it looked. And I'm just going to wipe the brush off really quick. And I'm just going to blend it a little bit. We do not want to blend this out a lot at all because this is our base for the cut crease. Okay, now we're going to go straight to the lid. And we're going to carve that out. And first we're going to wipe it off, because you get quite a bit of transfer. Use this mirror so I can see better. And we are going to carve this out with a NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. You don't have to do that. You can use concealer. She is sitting here crushing pork rinds because we're keto. The whole family's keto. But she is sitting here crushing pork rinds and throwing them on the floor. You know what? If it gets the video done, I don't care. Anyway, we're going to use this very, very tiny NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. You can use concealer, but because I want the green to be very vibrant, we're going to do it this way. And so we're going to just put some on the pencil. You could probably, no, I won't do it directly to the lid. I would use a brush so you get a good sharp line. And so I'm just going to carve out my crease. And make sure you get as close to the inner corner as possible. There's not enough on here. Hold on. I know. My brush is coming apart too. I need to glue it. Sorry. You could use, if you have a good softer textured eyeliner, you could use that as well. Excuse me a minute. I have a child screaming. I'm back. Her necklace just got caught on her handlebar on her bike and she got stuck. I shouldn't laugh at her. I'm sorry. Okay, so we've got this down now, and it's not, now that I'm looking at it from here, it's not absolutely perfect, but you get the idea. Because this is an inverted cut crease, that's definitely okay because there's going to be colors going over the crease and it is going to cover it up. So now we're going to take our hip pigment, and this is called Rebel, and it is pretty much a lime green. It is shimmery. That one piece of hair. It is shimmery. And we're going to do 2 coats of it. We're going to do 1 dry and 1 wet. And I'm going to be using this Marsk flat shader brush. It does not have a name, but it's an exceedingly, I used this in the Cut Crease video. It is a very flat brush and tightly packed. And we're going to get some pigments. This is what it looks like. We're going to get some pigment on our brush and of course tap off our excess. And we're going to kind of press this on because it is a pigment and we don't want it all over our face. Oh no. I feel like this looks very old school Joker from like the cartoon Batman, doesn't it? For those of y'all that are old enough to remember that. Okay, so now we got a dry layer down. Now we're going to do a wet layer. Anytime you're doing wet shadow, you should always do a layer of dry. And honestly, when I'm doing colors like this, especially pigments, I like it to be very wet because I like it to behave almost like paint. I'm going to brush off the excess in the cap here because it makes it work just a little bit better. And so now I'm going to pack this on. Bless you, sister. Okay. And try as hard as you can to not disturb that line. And you can see where I do have some transfer here. The same thing happened on this side. One thing is I'm not being super precise with this because I'm not able to get up close enough to really see like I would in my bathroom when I was doing my makeup. But my eye shape in general is so round like this way and this way that no matter how precise I get when I cut that, I always get a little bit of transfer. But it's okay because I have a way to kind of remedy that, and I'll show you in a second. Okay, now we're going to go in with our blue, and we are using this the L'Oreal Hip Shadow Duo in, what is this called? Showy. And we're going to use this blue here. And for that, we are going to be taking, what brush did I use? This one right here. Okay, we're going to be taking this Luxie 249. It's one of the dual-ended ones. We're going to use the blending side. And we are going to apply this to one side. Now this is, if you do not have this shadow, this is simply a matte royal blue kind of. There's absolutely no shimmer in this whatsoever. We're going to apply it to one side and then we're going to flip it over. Now this, we are going to concentrate on the outer corner. So I'm going to, and this is going to already start covering up that green, as you can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to about the a third of the way in. Well, that's more like half. Whatever. I'm not good at math. We're going to go to this outer third here. There's not enough on here. And that's going to be as blue as possible. I'm going to get some more because I didn't get enough on my brush. Sorry. And I can actually see pretty good in here, but I'm not looking at you. So, okay, so we're going to apply it right here till we get to about the corner of the iris. I know. And then once we get it as far in as we want, we're going to wipe our brush off. There's definitely still some left on there. And then we're going to start pulling this in this way so that we get a little bit of a more seamless blend here. And there you go. Now, if you were doing an inverted cut crease and did not want to do the exact colors I'm doing, you would still basically do this the same way. You would concentrate this on the outer corner and then pull it in. You would not go all the way across unless you really just liked that kind of look. Now we're going to add some more purple back in. And I know that I said that typically when you're doing the inverted cut crease, you go from smallest to largest. But we're going to add some more purple here because we lost a lot of purple in this, and I want this line to be a little bit sharper. So like I said, if you get a little bit of transfer, this is a great way to kind of fix that. And so this is an e.l.f. I don't even know if they make these anymore because I haven't seen the little $1 brushes in forever. It's a defining eye brush. It's an itty bitty angled shader brush. And we're going to be using another L'Oreal Duo, and this is Flamboyant, and we're going to use this gorgeous purple here. And when I did it yesterday, I actually used this instead of Delectable for that first layer. But this color, I don't know if it's because it's a matte shade, but it buffs away so much that you're completely losing that bright, bright purple. So we are going to kind of put this back on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to first start, hold it this way and kind of angle up. And we're going to first apply it to this inner part where we want it really purple, and kind of pull it a little bit so you're getting this little line. This is not indicative of a inverted cut crease. I just liked the look. Like I said, this is really turning into, let's just watch Leah play with makeup and be a little crazy. And then once you have that, you're going to get some more product, unless you just have enough. And then you're going to kind of go along that right at the green line where the green meets the crease color, so that we kind of cover up our boo-boo there. Or like I said, if you have an eye shape, I don't care. If you have a very particular eye shape, I don't care how good you are at this, you sometimes get a little bit of transfer. And that's okay, especially with these inverted cut creases. And then we're just going to kind of blend this a little bit. But we're only going to blend the top half because we don't want to lose the rest. So I'm going to be taking a clean blending brush. This is the one I always use. This is Ipsy for Shining Glam for Ipsy L34, right? Yeah, L34 Blend Beauty. It's just a simple little blending brush. And we're going to go over the top here. Why are we angry? And we're just going to blend our edges just a little, just to make it a little more cohesive. Okay, let me check it. What's wrong, sister? Okay, hold on. I'm going to add a bit more blue to this outer side really quick. Okay, the food is no longer working, people. Come here. Mama will hold you. Okay. So, yeah, see? You can kind of see her little knot there. Okay, so that's the top of the, well, that's the main event, so to speak. And so now we're going to carve our brows out really quickly, and then we're going to apply our brow bone shade. And for that, I'm using the same thing I always use. I'm using the Wet n Wild dual-ended contour stick, and I'm, of course, going to use the light end. Oh, Charlotte's going to put some makeup on. And because of the way this is shaped, I just do it just like this, like you would a crayon, kind of. Now, to help keep this look from being just a little too editorial and not wearable, which for a lot of people this isn't wearable anyway, we're going to apply a matte brow bone shade and then do a little bit of strategic highlight right in the arch. So now that I've carved this out, I'm taking my clean concealer brush and I'm just going to blend this in. Like I said, I'm not having a good brow day today. I don't know what the deal is. Okay. Oh, that's open. Here you go. You can hold that. Okay, now that I have that done where it's carved out, yes, I know, we're going to do the brow bone color. And for that, I am using Peaches and Cream from the Sweet Peach palette. It's just a beige color, beige peach, kind of, as the name would suggest. And first, we're going to lay it on the brow bone, right in the arch, and then blend it both ways. If you do not want such a stark line of color here, I happen to like that look. If you don't, all you've got to do is add a bit more shadow to your brush and then just kind of feather it down over where we've put the crease, where we've put our crease colors. And then I'm going to add a teeny bit of highlight, and I'm going to use the shade Nectar, which is kind of like a champagne. It's very shimmery though. It's like a champagne kind of color, and you can use whatever you want. Just a teeny bit. That keeps it from, a lot of people will do their whole brow bone, and I have a lot of area here. Like my crease to brow bone is, I have a lot of area there. Some people will go straight in with a shimmer for the whole thing, and to me, especially when you're wearing this much, I look like, and I look as intense as this is, it's just not a good idea. So, I mean, if that's what you like, you go ahead, you do you. But this is how I prefer it. Okay, now I'm just going to really quickly go over my my eyebrow with my pencil, just to make sure. The reason why I do this, I don't know if I actually explained this in my brows video. I will link that for you. But the reason why I actually do this is because when I apply, especially, quit talking while you're doing your brows, sister. I feel like I get shadow on it, and then it just looks really bad. So now that I have this beautiful line, because I'm talking, let me fix that. Okay. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to take our bake off, and we're going to do the under eye part. And to remove my bake, I've said this before, I press the bake in first and then I brush it. That way I don't disturb anything underneath. And then I'm going to dip my Q-tip in some water and I'm just going to clean up under the eye a little. Because like we have all this green down here and we don't want that. Shh. Sorry. Those of you with kids, you know, it's like, it's a constant sing-along in your house, especially with girls. My son did not sing this much. Okay, now we're going to do the under eye. You do not have to do this. This is not going to make it an inverted cut crease. We've already done what makes an inverted cut crease, but we're going to finish the look. And so we're going to be taking that Showy shadow again, and we're going to be using the blue here. And I'm going to take this Royal and Langnickel crease and smudge duo. We're going to take the smudge side. We're going to apply it to one side. I know, sister. I know. I took your toy. And then you're going to flip it so that the color is on the top. And we're going to just put this along our lash line. And once you have that down, you can clean the brush off. And then you can kind of smudge it out a little. I am not smudging it out very much because there's already so much going on here. And I'm not the biggest fan of putting a lot of shadow on my lower lash line. Okay, now we get to use that gorgeous turquoise duochrome kind of. Oh. And we're going to take a little crease brush. And you don't have to do this. But what we're going to do is we're going to pack the color on the end of the brush. This is my very sad, messed up crown brush. And you're going to apply it to your inner corner. And like I said, this look is edging towards editorial. And for a lot of people, this is not anywhere near wearable. I would wear this to the grocery store because I'm just that extra. But a lot of women aren't, and that's okay because what you can do is you can just do, you don't have to, it's not an all or nothing thing. If you like the colors, just do like one or two of the colors. That's not safe. And so when you do an inner corner, you want to kind of pull it. No, here, you want to hold that? And that, you can hold that. You're going to kind of pull it into that lid color that we had. That way you don't get that line and you get a nice blend. And so now I'm just going to clean this off and put this away. Okay, so now we are at the point where this is technically done. I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, and then I will come back and we will talk about this just a little bit. And Charlotte will throw eyeshadow on the floor. All right, so I'm back. So what I did is I basically just did, you know, the same thing I always do, which is I did a wing, and this lash is still a little wet, so you can probably see the glue. I did a wing, then I, you know, curled my lashes, applied mascara. I put these lashes on, and then I also lined my waterline with a green pencil. Now, as I'm looking at this, I don't think that I would wear these lashes with this look again. These are very pretty lashes, but they're very, very thick. And my favorite part about this look is the green. It's just, oh, come on. And so it kind of covers it up, like you have to actually look down or blink or something for that to show. You want Mama to hold you? Poor little knothead. So I think that if I were to do this again, I would definitely choose a little bit more natural, not necessarily natural, but not quite as thick looking lashes. So that's it, and I thank y'all so much for taking the time to watch this. If you liked this video and would like to see more like this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you like the idea of doing more colorful makeup looks or actual just straight up tutorials, so not like my 101s where I go in depth with techniques and why we do these techniques, but actually just, you know, eyeshadow looks, then go ahead and let me know, because I have ideas for 101s, but you can only do so many 101s because there's only so many techniques, if you know what I mean. So, like I said, this really did, I did tell you about inverted cut creases and why you can do them and how to do them, but this really more or less turned into let's watch Leah go insane, which was fun. Alright, so if you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that, please. That way you can, you know, catch all my videos when they get uploaded. And as always, I thank y'all so much for taking the time to watch it. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.